Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Randy Prizzle's Link and Ting with me, Randy Prizzle. How you guys all doing out there? Everything good, shway, crispy, irie. You know what I use your hair for? The linking and the tinging, which is me going through profiles, obviously on the dating app, and trying to find someone to call my own. Hopefully, they can like all this with the pudgy stuff going on, because obviously man doesn't work out in that. So hopefully they can appreciate man for looking like this and all that. You know what I mean? Early pregnancy settings and that. But anyways, let's move on and let's get on to this episode of Linking and Tinging. We come to Kate. Kate says, I'm looking for someone to sunscreen my back this summer. Could do more than that. Bend over and break your back and all of that. J Huss settings. She's 32, 5'2", and that's all it says there. The dorkiest thing about me is my Nando's spice level. I could probably tell she's not a girl that likes all seasoning in her chicken and that. Probably just likes a bit of salt and pepper and that's it. She just calls it time. Do you know what I mean? Bland stuff. Don't really like that. You need to add more seasoning to the chicken to get the flavours heightened, you know what I mean? To taste all of that. Taste the rainbow like Skittles and that. You've got to be able to taste all of the flavours and the goodness that comes with that chicken. Do you know what I mean? Not just no salt and pepper ting and it's fine. No, allow it, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Allow that. What's wrong with some people nowadays? But anyways, let's move on to what more she's saying. It says, I won't shut up about my 6 pet sheep. Yeah, allow it, going to farms and doing all the bleep stuff and all of that. You know what I mean? Chasing around sheeps and that. I can't be bothered to be helping her share sheeps and that. Do you know what I mean? Leave that out. Watching cows and all of them them there. Forget all about it. I hear that obviously she lives in a farm and all of that. But I can't do the farmyard life. For me, this looks a bit techie still, but let's move on. So for Kate, it's going to be a no from me. I don't want to be going to a farm with Kate, be doing animal farm business, so it's going to be a no from me. We come to Josephine. Josephine says, my simple pleasures, cold contact lenses in the morning, the smell of chlorine, going to see any theatre show, politics, book hangovers, all of that. She yaps on, and she goes on and on and on. Yeah, let's move on to what more she's saying. She's 31, she's 5'2", she's a policy lead. What next is saying, the one thing I'd love to know about you is, what do you do for work and how you've reached that point? Yeah, currently for me, I'm unemployed. Been unemployed for about a year now, which is a bit peak, but still, I'm still searching, trying to find a job. Searching for that job that I can always find. Do you know what I mean? But obviously I'm here doing content, trying to keep myself busy, but putting myself more out there. So the public, obviously, if they like what they see, you share, you like, you comment, subscribe, all of that. Share to the people, get me doing actually this and making some money out of this. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd love to be doing this instead of a 9 to 5. Forget a 9 to 5. Don't want to be doing the Dolly Parton stuff. Working 9 to 5, working hard to make a living. Do you know what I mean? Because it's peak there. You don't really choose your hours. You don't really enjoy what you do. You just have to go there and just suck it up and get on with it. Allow it. But anyways, one more she's saying. 2 truths and a lie. I've seen the same musical over 50 times. I'm a classically trained singer. I know how to weld. I don't know. But I'm not even going to bother guessing, so let's move on. And that's all for Josephine. It's going to be a no for me. Let's move on to the next person, Leah. Leah, she's in a mountain top and all that. She wants to climb with you on a mountain. She wants to stay with you in a sea. She wants to lay like this forever, until the sky falls down on her. And the voice did a bit of the cracking stuff. Don't know what happened there, but yeah, it's probably had a few drinks and that, so it's kicking in and stuff, doing the whole mashing up the voice thing. But anyways, she says, I hype myself up by dancing and drumming and having a grand time with friends. It's good to have a grand time with friends. You know what I mean? Nice to enjoy that and have fun and do all of that. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the whole epitome of living life, enjoying it and having fun. But let's move on to more what she's saying. She's 35, 5'4", she works in marketing. She is a pretty girl, I'm not going to lie to you. Pretty things. Pretty lady, you didn't raise me. Now you chase me on a daily. Yeah, she's pretty, Tings. I'm not gonna lie to you. My type on paper and all that, as they like to say on Love Island. My type on paper. Yeah, trust me on that one. But what more she's saying? Give me travel tips for traveling through Madrid, London, Lisbon, and Lagos. She said Portugal in June. She likes to travel the world, doing their Bashi song with them dubs. I want to travel the world, wanna fly, fly, touch the sky. So it's nice. She likes to travel in that. It's great for her. What more she's saying? I won't shut up about decolonization. Yeah, I hear it, man. Listen, people obviously coming into different countries and trying to take over the world like they're pinky in the brain and that, moving mad. But anyways, let's move on. She's a pretty girl still, you know what I mean? But the problem is, I don't know if she would be able to stay still, you know what I mean? Ants in the pants stuff. I'd obviously want me and her, to be staying still, doing a lot of things. But together we could be moving, you know, different directions and that. Me and her, you know what I mean, private settings and that. Move closer, move your body real close, touch me, yeah. All of that, so yeah. But anyways, unfortunately for Leah, I don't think there's enough. She's a beautiful girl, no lie about that. But you know what? It's going to be a no for me. So let's move on to the next one. Meret, like a merit, like, you know, for the merit, distinction, and passing that. You know what I mean? It's coming like an essay results and that. But anyways, let's see. She says, this year I really want to learn how to make pastries. It's good to learn how to make pastries. You know what I mean? Be able to use your hands a lot more. Use your hands for a lot of things. You can be able to work. Put them to work. Do you know what I mean? Work. All of that. She's 35. She's 5'3", and that's all it says there. She says, green flags I look out for: faith in God, optimism, hard-working, family-orientated. I hear all of that still. Do you know what I mean? Hard-working and that, you know what I mean? You gotta work hard for the money, beady. Hard for the money, beady. Hard for the money, you better treat her right. All of that, so yeah. She says, an award my family would give me, laughing at my own jokes. Okay, she likes to be a clown, that, doing the Krusty the Clown stuff. Yeah, leave it out, bruv. You're just laughing at your own jokes. I don't know where you're going with that one. You could be a mad girl still. I don't really want to be dealing with someone who's doing the psychotic stuff. Do you know what I mean? Just literally trying to, you know what I mean, set man up for man to get, you know, absolutely turned over like Apple and that. You know what I mean? Come behind man and you see just bare goons on me. Do you know what I mean? Allow it. Do you know what I mean? Pause and all of that. But anyways, let's move on. It's going to be a no from me. We come to Jazz. Jazz is a pretty girl still, but let's continue what more she's saying. Give me travel tips for Faro, Portugal. Any tips on the best beach clubs, bars, places to eat, and even water parks. The water slide stuff. Do you know what I mean? Splash waterfalls and that. Baby to me, bing, bing. Oh, show her water park I will. If she wants to see a special water park. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But anyways, she likes to travel. It's good with all of that. Another person who likes to travel the world. I hear it. But, you know, you got to have the moolah to be doing that. If you don't obviously have the moolah, there's not really much travelling that's going on, is it? Just travel to the park and back. That's where you're travelling to. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, she's 26. She's 5'4". She's a recruiter. She can recruit me any day. My mind is going, yeah, my mind's in the guard today. It is what it is. Let's keep rolling with it. Dirty joke syndrome is coming, but it is what it is. Let's keep going. Green flags I look out for: someone who's kind and caring, self-aware, thoughtful, and not afraid to be a little vulnerable. Emotional maturity goes a long way. I hear all of that. It's still the real talk, isn't it? You want someone that's all of them, ting them there. Do you know what I mean? You can be a bit vulnerable, you know what I mean? And obviously not someone who's doing, you know, the little kiddish stuff. Do you know what I mean? Have your days when you're just obviously being a kid at heart. But obviously other days where you just got to have your maturity levels with you, you know what I mean? Sensible and that, not being stupid. Do you know what I'm saying? So What more she's saying? Most spontaneous thing I've done. Went on holiday with someone after only 2 weeks of chatting. Definitely more lust than logic. Not my smartest move, but I'll probably do it again. Yeah, yeah, you could seem like a fast girl, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Kind of faster love and that. You know what I mean? George Michael settings in. Who you looking for? Faster love, faster through your eyes. It's doing all of that. Do you know what I mean? She wants the faster love stuff. That's a bigger red flag to me. Do you know what I mean? So obviously I don't know you like that. And you straight want to get into the pants and that. So I know I make jokes and that, but obviously we got to have a vibe before we can do anything like that. Now I ain't gonna fly you out, try and pam you. It's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Go to your house. We can find a hotel or stuff, and we could then talk about the discussions happening in there. But anyways, apart from all of that, for Jazz, it's gonna be a no for me. We're gonna move forward now to Eve. Eve says, if we win the lottery, let's spend it on A, luxuries, B, holidays, C, building a better future. I would say it's a bit of both. Probably like one holiday, and then obviously putting it towards the future in that. You want to be able to have a security in all of that. For the kids, if you're going to have kids in the future, for the family in the future and that. And for yourself, houses and property and that. Putting it back into making a lot more money and keeping your investment going in that. So, let's see what she's saying. She has a voice note here. Green flags I look out for.
Green flags I look out for are people that are very family orientated, well mannered, know how to present themselves, know how to carry themselves in a room. And someone that that doesn't take themselves too seriously. I feel like that's long. I'm a very goofy person. I know when to be serious, but majority of the time, I let my inner child run free. If you can't roll with that, then I don't know, darling, got the wrong girl.
Yeah, listen, I hear it. You know what I mean? Like, doing that, obviously, the maturity stuff, I hear it. Sometimes, as I said, you've got to be able to have fun, but there's got to be a level of some sort of maturity. You can't just be just one way, you know what I mean? Like doing the one way or another. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. Oh, no. Yeah, it's got to be straightforward, direct. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, if you're doing the kiddish stuff, then we can't be doing the, you know what I mean, the plankety plank stuff together. But anyways, let's move on. Dating me is like a mystery box. Never know what you might get. She's doing the Craig David stuff. What you see is what you get. With a hidden agenda, I know. Girlfriend, when you playing around, yes, I know. She's playing around. She's playing around, and it could be problems, you know what I mean? Playing games now. I'm too old for games, do you know what I mean? The only games I like to play is board games. Do you know what I mean? Board games or some Twister Naked with just the gal, you know what I mean? All of that settings there. But we don't need to be talking about mystery boxes and that. Do you know what I mean? The only mystery box you need to see is, something down below Nether Regions and that. But anyways, let's get on to more what she's saying. She's 30, she's 5'2", she's a recovery support worker, and that's all it says there. Okay. She says, my simple pleasures, long walks, vibing with close friends and family, and cooking. So that sounds nice. I don't like the long walk thing. Listen, you can do that on your own. I'm happy just to watch you go by and that. Walk on by, bang, 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 bang. Do you know what I mean? I have vibing with close friends. It's cool to have your friends and your people there you vibe with. You have them round, drinks and that, but also cookouts and stuff. That's good. She knows how to throw down in the kitchen. That's a big plus for me. So I hear it. I like that. Do you know what I mean? I like that. Twerk that thing. Whoa. I like that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But let's see what more she's saying. She's a pretty girl though, still. Very pretty. You know what I mean? She goes crazy for wings, she says. I like wings as well. No, I'm not talking about the Little Mix song, Wings Are Made to Fly and that. No, I do like wings, chicken wings. Do you know what I mean? Trust me on that one, daddy. You know what I mean? Chicken wings, my thing. I just actually had some today for dinner, so big up the chicken wings and that, my stomach and all of that. Big them up still. Big yourself up. But anyways, she seems like a pretty girl, but I don't like the fact she has the mystery box thing going on. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be running into it like I'm Super Mario trying to do the bing, against a box with a question mark and then end up getting something that takes my life, bruv. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that. You know what I mean? So those settings alone makes me question what Eva's got on offer. Do you know what I mean? Maybe a date, we can see how it goes. But right now, there's question marks. I have big question marks. And I'm not talking about the mystery box in Mario Kart. Or even on Mario, still. Super Mario setting. But yeah, she seems like a nice looking girl. But need to find out what's going on in there, bruv. Need to find out. But anyways, let's just leave that as that. And that's it, guys. We've come to the end of this episode of Randy Prizzle's Lincoln Ting. So if you've seen this episode or any of the previous episodes, you know what to do below. All of that. Big yourselves up, first time watchers, seasoned watchers. And appreciate you guys' time. You know what we usually do here when we finish? Link out, link out, oh, link out.